Welcome to another unauthorized and rum-fueled Gatsby skill builder session. Yeah, it's a new intro. I think I need to add something there, but I'm your host, Cap'n Ola, and today we're going to do some image CDN support in your Gatsby source plugin. I'm going to tell you, this is great. So let's share my screen and get to it. Here. Okay. So I got the ducks here, and we're going to use them. And because you should always do that, use the ducks. But I also have my little Tinkerbell task here. Can you see it? Yeah. What, why, and how. And what is adding image CDN to your plugin? The why is to speed up the build of your users, the users of your plugin. And how is IMAGE. G image. Right. Let's get started. Let's get started, everybody. I'm gonna put on my coding gloves. Yep. Okay, so first is here. We start here, and the first thing we're going to do, the G, is GraphQL object type. Can you see it? No. We just scroll past here. Here it says a new GraphQL object type. That's what we're going to do. Okay. And I'm just going to uncomment the code here because, yeah, I have practiced a lot. I have practiced. These are my practice 7. Is that 7? 8. I practiced 8 times, but I'm still just using the code from Queen Raae and Vart Peters of Gatsby. Well, Vart Peters is of Gatsby. Queen Raae is of Queen Raae. So I'm going to use this here. So first, we're going to just copy paste this here. Schema object type. And also these interfaces here. All right. Wait a minute. Whoa. Before we do that, inside of actions.create types, we can have array. We can have array. That is great. Don't forget it. And then, and you bring it in these interfaces too, you know, it's great stuff. All right. Why do I get a red there on my schema? I don't know. Save. I shouldn't have that. Well, anyway, so I now copy pasted this in schema. I'm going to see what's wrong. Just got to get started. Schema, build object type. So that's why we call it G. It's a G GraphQL object type. And then you got to name it here. So you can see in the docs your image asset node type. So that's YouTube thumbnail. Thumbnail. Do you remember the thumbnail? It's like this. You see there the thumb down there and the nail with the hammer. That's right. That's the YouTube thumbnail. And fields, you don't really need fields. But Queen Raae says yes, so she added this YouTube ID string exclamation. And these interfaces here are great. So we want to have them. Okay. I think I just did something wrong with my uncommenting here. And in the next step, it's going to get fixed because this worked when I practiced. So I'll just keep going down here. So that was G. And now it's the I. No, the I is this, interfaces. Interfaces. Those are great. If you want to know what it is, check out Queen Raae and Vart's video. I'm not going to try to explain it. So here, add polyfill. I'm not doing that, you might think, but then Vart will tell you you should. And in my description here, I have the time code. So you can go on the YouTube on the description and click on the link where Vart explains why you should do it. So I'll just do it. Because if my father was still alive, he would say, you should listen to Vart because he knows what he's talking about. All right, so here, add remove polyfill interface, and also this. I see. I commented out this. I can't have that commented out. That's why I had the red thing earlier. Okay. And where does add remote polyfill interface come from? As you can see here in the docs, you must import them. And I do that up here. Unst add report, add remote polyfill interface. Like that. Save. Now it should be cool. It's still not cool. I'm still doing something wrong here. Should I have a comma here? Do we have commas between arrays? Yes, we do. Okay, there it worked. Okay. So that was the A. No, that was the M. Must I add polyfill? No, but you should. That's the M. That's the M here on our GIM. We're now to GIM, and the next is A. Add the asset node. All right. It's happening down here. Here you go. So you just copy paste this into your Gatsby Node.js. And that's a little bit up here. Here it is. This also needs to be commented out. Okay. So I am calling it create node here. And that's good. That's good. I'm not calling it asset node, but that's totally cool. You see here, create node comes here from actions. Actions comes here from Gatsby utils. So this is all this stuff is made by Gatsby. And it comes in here, Gatsby utils. Being passed down from Gatsby in this source nodes thing. What's it? Source nodes API? Is that what you call it? Yeah. Source nodes API. Okay, good. So asset node. This is an asset node, even though I'm not calling it that. So the first is the ID. And Queen Raae created her asset node up here. So I'm going to do the same. Angst YouTube thumbnail node ID. No, she created her ID up here. I mean, sorry. And you use this create node ID, and you can see that also comes from Gatsby Utils. Yeah, these are some great tools. And that's so the ID is YouTube thumbnail node ID, and I save like that. Okay, people. I didn't know how much I was going to do today, but I might do all the letters in my acronym. That would be great. I like that. This this is not so hard to do. You can, this is not so hard to do. I say that now very stupidly because maybe I'll run into some problems, but maybe, but right now it's looking good, and I don't know if you can tell, but a lot of this stuff that's happening here, I don't really understand it all, but I can still do it, and so can you. You can still do this on your source node. You should still have some backup, though. I have the Queen in backup, and also if we run into some serious stuff, can always ask Vart, but we already did. You should check the video out. Okay, so that's M, and now after M. No, that's A. We're still on A. This A is pretty long. This A is pretty long. So now internal. You see, I'm following the docs. First ID, now internal. Like that. Okay. So the type is YouTube thumbnail. And then also content digest, which comes from node internal content digest. Where do I find all this stuff? Am I building? Yes, I am. Where do I find all this stuff? I find it over here. Wait. Saves. Oh. I find it over here in graphical. Updates. Okay, so you go into graphical and you click Explorer here. And this is all I have in here, and it's alpha. It's a little small, maybe. Plus. Yeah, like that. Can you see it? Maybe still small, but YouTube thumbnail. Isn't that right? Yeah. I click that. It's alphabetical, so I click that. And now, okay, node internal digests. Here you go, internal. Oh, yeah, we are in the node now. We're on the internal. And content digest. It's there. So let's look at that. Play. Here it is. This is it. This is it. And this is like, these little cards that you get on Christmas presents. We call it cards in Norway. I don't know what you call it, but it's like a little piece of cardboard, and then you write stuff on it, and that's what this is. So the node is like a bag full of treasure, and then the content digest is that little thing there, and it says, I'm stepping on this book all the time, and it says, to Gatsby, hey Gatsby, you don't have to change this. I mean, sorry. It says to Gatsby, I haven't changed this yet. I haven't changed it, so don't look at it again. Or it's changed, you need to look at it again. So that's that. Next is Earl. Where do we find this? Also in graphical. placeholder URL, we're not using that. We're jumping it. Okay, so let's go back to graphical then. Here, Explorer. What are we looking for? URL. Okay, that should be all the way down, yeah, because it's alphabetical. It's alphabetical URL. Let me click the little X and then play. Here it is. That's my URL. Oh, look at that. You can see that's the image showing up. That add day thing there. It's outside of the screen, but that's live. Okay. Next on the docs are meme type. Gotta admit, I have no clue what it is, but I'm just adding it. Look at this. And Queen Raae hard coded this because the YouTube thumbnails are all JPEGs, but in your plugin, they might not be. So then you shouldn't hard code it. You should do what they do in the docs here and get it. You should get it. Here, file name. And here we're using node YouTube ID. Okay, let's check it out in graphical. Click Explorer. YouTube ID. Oh, that's we already checked YouTube ID, but I have it. It's all the way down there because it's alphabetical. Press play. Here's my YouTube ID, and that's the when you click share on YouTube on a video, you click share, and then you get a little link. This is what's at the end of the link. Yeah, and that's what we use here. I'll show you that later, so I don't get sidetracked. Okay, back to the docs. That was file name, and now width and height. And sorry, we should look. And Vart said width and height is good. You must have it. If you don't have that, you can't use image CDN, he said. You should check the video with him and the Queen explaining it. Okay, that's it. Great. That was the A step. Okay, let's go back to the docs here. Okay, look at this, more polyfill. And now we're doing it. Okay, I'm gonna import this and I'm going to export it. That's what I'm going to do because we're at E now. Did I jump my G step? I did, sorry. But I didn't actually because, so A is the asset node, which is this here. And then you have to add all this stuff. Where do you find it? In graphical. Look at this, width, height. Let's go, Explorer. There it is, width. Height is up here because it's alphabetical, like that. Click the X, click play, and here we go. Width 480, height 360. Great. Okay, where is all this coming from? The oembed endpoint. Yes, because that's what we're sourcing from here. And you're sourcing from something else with your plugin. Summary? No. Don't skip this here. The E. Export. Yeah. Okay. It's all the way at the top. Here. Here it is. No, sorry. Practice this. First we do this. Exports.on create dev server, passing in the app, polyfill image service dev routes. Save. No, sorry. We must do this. Save. Okay, so what is this? Add the polyfill to ensure that the dev server started with Gatsby develops has the routes it needs to work with Image CDN. And now you're all set up to use Image CDN. I did it. I did it. I did all of them. Wow, that was 20 minutes, people. Okay, let's sum it up. Let's sum it up. And I haven't even talked about the Greeks yet. I should talk about the Greeks. Okay, so what did we do today here? My Tinkerbell task. Maybe I should make myself big. I shall make myself big. Here, can you see it? What? Adding image CDN to your plugin. It's a little bit out of focus. Sorry about that. Why? To speed up, it says your build there, but it's supposed to be your user's build. But if you are using the Queen's YouTube-oembed Gatsby, what's it called? If you're using this plugin, your build will speed up. You should use this plugin. I use it. It's great. Sorry, take away this. And how? G-I-M-A-G-E. Yeah? Maybe I should say what each letter says or so. I should share my screen again. I will do that. Okay. Okay. Let's go back and look at all we did. Here, all the way down. Oh, all the way down. First. And also I should scan it with this here. The docs, image CDN here. G, the G, GraphQL object type. A new GraphQL object type. Sorry about that. Don't worry. And I'm doing that over here. Okay. So that is the G. Oh. Speed up. Maybe it should just say speed up build. I'll try that. Speed up build. I just fix my little sticky notes. Sticky notes. I love sticky notes. They're very easy to move around and you can just tear them up like this. And okay. Why? Speed up build. Okay, we're at the G now and we're moving on to the I. Interfaces. Interfaces. These come in from Gatsby, the node interface, and the remote file interfaces. Great stuff. Okay. That was I. And now it's on to the M. Here. Must I do this polyfill thing? You should do it. You should. Here. You should get it, import it, and use it here to wrap your new graphical object type in it. Yes, you should. Absolutely. And in the beginning here, you remember I made an array and I forgot that little comma there, but now it's there. Yep. So that was the M. Must I do this? No, but you absolutely should. Why? Oh, I can say it now, maybe. Here. It's also recommended that you add a polyfill to provide support back through Gatsby 2. So it's all the way from Gatsby 4.9 and back to 2. 4.9, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. 4.10 was when it got added. Okay, that's it. That's it for the M. And A is the asset node. Add the asset node here. You copy paste this here. And that's up here. Here it is. So you copy paste it in, and then you can just write your thing in here, this whole stuff thing here, but we're not. We're creating the ID up here and we're using it down there. Yep. So that's the asset node, and then you add all this stuff. And how do you find it? Graphical. That's how you find it. And then you fill up all this. You must have width and height and meme type and URL and everything. Fill it up, and then we go all the way to the top for the E, and that's exports on create dev server polyfill image service dev routes, which you also must import there. And that's it, everybody. That's it. Do it. Your plugin should have support for image CDN. Okay, it's time for the Greeks. Don't forget the Greeks. Here. The Queen was just in Athens, and I asked her to buy Lillian a sword, a training sword of wood, because of this guy. I'm gonna make myself big. I'm gonna have to make myself big again. I love the Greeks, man. They're great. Okay, here you go. This is a famous Greek right here. Hope you can see him. Yep, like that. He's a little out of focus, but you can handle it. Okay, you see he's got a sword down here, all down by his waist. And this guy's Theseus. Theseus is one of the Greek heroes. And he's famous for... He did a lot of stuff, but he's most famous, I think, maybe, for how he got this string. He got a string, a ball of string from Princess Ariadne, and that's her. I don't really like this. And Lillian too, she didn't like this here drawing of Ariadne because she looks a little cringy. Oh, we can't even see her almost. Damn. Sorry about the cursing there also. Can you see her? Wow, sorry about this. There she is. She looks a little cringy, but that's her. She gave him the ball of string, Theseus, and that's what he's most famous for. He took his piece of string that he got from Ariadne. Here you see Theseus, bare-chested with a piece of string. He's walking into the labyrinth, and he's going all the way over here to talk to this dude here, the bullhead man. The bullhead man is going to talk to him, and that's what he's famous for. But he did a lot of great stuff, our Theseus. And my favorite part is actually where he asks his mother, Mom, who's my dad? And she says, yeah, your dad, he was a great guy, but I'm not going to tell you who he was before you're man enough to lift this rock here. You got to lift this rock. And there's this giant boulder. Boulder is like enormous rock. And he sees right away, when he's a kid, I can't lift that. It's not happening. But then he's training and eating and growing, and the years goes by. And there are a lot of different stories about how he actually managed to lift the rock. But But what did he find under it? He found the sword that you could see here. He found the sword here. You see only the grip there and like the top of the sword, but he found that sword and a pair of old rotten sandals, and that sword was put there by his father. So this is the sword in the rock thing, just like Arthur, King Arthur pulled the sword out of the rock, Excalibur, and then he became the king. It's not exactly like that with Theseus, because he lifted a rock, he got the sword and the sandals, which were not good sandals, but the sword was good, and he put on the sandals, he walked up to Athens, and that's where Queen Raae was. And that's why I wanted her to buy a sword for Lillian. He walked to Athens. It's a long story about how he became friends with his father, and we'll do that some other time. But at some point, after a lot of complications, his father and Theseus, they get together, like father and son, and it's because of the sword. The sword is proof that he's son. And then later, when the father, Agus, this is an even worse drawing, actually. Man, I don't like this, but this is what I have right now. Agus. Look at this. Can you see it? Agus. There he stands. Very hard to see, but it doesn't matter because I don't like the drawing that much. Agus is looking out to sea, and does he see there? The ship with a black sail. And that's how Theseus becomes king, because Theseus promised his father, Agus, bro, when I come back here to Athens from Crete, I come back here and I'm going to take the black sails down, pull up white sails so you can see all the way when I come all the way, far away, that I'm alive. That's proof that I'm alive. But he forgot. Theseus forgot to change his sails. And then Agus, he saw the black sails, and he was like, my son is dead. And then he was standing on the Acropolis. He had his castle up there where all the fancy temples are now. He had this castle up there, the citadel. And he was standing there looking out, and he was like, oh, I don't want to live now when my son is dead. And he just jumped off. There was the cliffs there and down on the rocks, and he died. And that's how Theseus became king. He came back, king was dead, and then now he's king. Yep, Agus, and Agus means goat-like. And yeah, that's a long shaggy dog story to tell about the goats. I have a blog post here at the bottom of my description. I don't know if I can show it even. Can I show it? I'm not showing it. At the bottom of my description is a link to my blog post about this coding here, and I'm going to put in an image of Vart's goat back when it was not exactly a baby, but a kid goat, very cute, and her name is Juliet. Am I saying it right? I think so. I don't know, probably not. I don't speak Belgian that well. Juliet is the goat that there's an image of in the blog post. And then there's two more goats also with J. It's Jose and I forgot, man. And I put my post-it note somewhere and I don't know where it is. Well, anyway, I'll write all the names up in the blog post, and the image of the goat will be there, and also a time code so you can see it. You can see the kid goat Juliet with Vart. Okay, so that's it for today then, everybody. I'm gonna sing my song. It won't take long. I'm gonna do the twist, and it goes like this. This has been another unauthorized Gatsby Skill Builder session. I'm your host, Cap'n Ola. Remember to smash that like button, friends. Yeah. Okay then. Bye.